Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Fukushima today, first things first. And what we're going to talk about is the fact that just yesterday, I did a live stream telling you how the ecosystem of the Philippines was being destroyed from gray water coming from the hotels and suntan lotion. And now, last night, I get online and I see an article, which I'll show you the article, and then I'll give you the link to the article itself. As soon as I get my glasses on, I'll show you the name of the article is Japan. Well, Japan is to release treated radioactive water from destroyed Fukushima nuclear power plant. And the lies never stop with Fukushima. And talking about lies, didn't Mr. Obama say that everything would be under control in 2 weeks? And talking about 2 weeks, didn't Trump say that they would have the jabba-dabba-doo problem solved in 2 weeks? They both said those things. And right from the get-go with Fukushima, I told you they were dumping the nuclear waste into the oceans. Now, if you don't know about Fukushima, and because you've not researched it or you didn't read much about it, the problem has not slowed down, even though Obama said everything would be under control in a few weeks. It never slowed down even one iota. And the radioactive waste that you see in the containers from the article I'm about to post is not even, I would say it's 1,000th of what they actually have dumped into the oceans already. I don't believe for a second that they ever even tried to stop the water from flowing through the sub-basement of the power plant. And there's a reason for that. Well, they said they tried, and they were going to build some bullshit ice wall back in 2013, I think it was. And I told you it wouldn't work to build an ice wall because it wouldn't matter how high you built the ice wall, how deep you built the ice wall. The water, when water is moving up to a wall, it either goes left, right, up, or down, but it's going to move around it. And they estimated that during the rainy season of Fukushima, 300 tons, which is not a lot of water. 300 tons is, it's just not a lot of water. If you filled up the average bus, the average size bus, that might be 50 cubic yards. Maybe, probably less. Probably that's probably 50 cubic yards, the average size bus. And so 300 tons would only be 6 times the amount of water that the average bus would hold. And that's how much water goes through the sub-basement of Fukushima, where the actual first and worst meltdown occurred. So, and that's from groundwater. So that was what they built the ice wall for. And the water came from underground aquifers and the mountains when it rained towards the shoreline of Fukushima. So there is no way to stop that. There never was. It was all a lie. So the 300 tons of water that go through the radioactive sub-basement of the Fukushima where the meltdown of the reactor is itself, there's no possible way to stop that water. There never was. So they spent 100 million or 10 million, some ridiculous, I think it was $10 million to bury pipes in the ground, refrigeration pipes in the ground. But that's just plain stupid. And then they froze the ground, and the water went around the frozen wall or under the frozen wall or over the frozen wall. They never showed you anything of the frozen wall. They just said the ground was frozen and it didn't work. But I could have told you, and I did send them emails that it would not work. Even if they built a watertight bulkhead around on the ocean side of Fukushima where the water was headed, well, how can you stop an unlimited supply of water during the rainy season? You can't. But besides that, they know that there were several tons of pellets the size of an eraser on a pencil, number 2 pencil eraser. That's the nuclear fuel pellets. They knew there were several tons that were dumped, that were blown into the ocean from the blast. They never tried to do anything with those. They didn't try to collect them. They didn't try to find them, that's for sure, because it's too radioactive for divers. So they just let those pellets stay on the bottom of the ocean. They did have a plan. Their plan was another stupid plan. They were going to cover the pellets with 18 inches of poured concrete, which wouldn't work either. So they're basically, my point is, yesterday I told you how the ecosystem in the Philippines is being destroyed. And now I will tell you that the Bohol Sea, and I'm not anywhere near my comments, I'm just looking at the mic, at the cam now. The Bohol Sea is on the very edge of the ocean currents that swirl around from Fukushima and head towards the California coast. So we have probably been getting radioactive water in the Bohol Sea, maybe a lot, maybe a little. They won't tell you. Remember what Obama did. Remember how Obama helped the American economy when he created the housing bubble and let that put 50,000 homes bankrupt every month, 50,000 homes in South Florida only. So do you really think they're going to tell you the truth of how much radioactive waste? The picture that I'm going to put up on the screen now, I don't know how many tanks they said they built. This is just another scam for the company that builds the tanks themselves. That amount of water that's held there is, again, that water is supposed to be the water that they pump out of the basement of the exploded reactor. But it's just not possible to collect 50 tons, 30 tons of water a day and store it. It's going through a hot radioactive reactor. Whatever the amount of radiation is, they don't tell you that either. They just lie about everything. So I'm going to go to my comments now, and I'll look to see if anybody is here. And I don't really care whether anybody is here or not. I'm going to do the live stream. So, Warren, my bank confirmed. Yeah, that's my hello. Welcome, Warren. Thank you for stopping by. Glad you got my message. I'm going to talk about Google stealing not my money, but stole Warren's money, Nomad Patriot's money, and Shifting Gears' money as well. $860 was stolen in one 2-day period, and then 10 days later, 1 day. So they are just, hello, Paul. Welcome to the machine. Johnny Adriel, thank you for stopping by. So let me just get back to Fukushima, and then I'm going to discuss the problem that I've had with Warren's money, and then I'm going to tell you what PayPal did to me today. I can't believe this. All of these big corporate headquarters, they're all stealing our money, whether you know it or not, whether you can keep track of it or not. It's just an amazing thing. So Fukushima has decided that in the year 2021, let me give you the article link, they're going to dump, or they're going to start dumping the water they have stored, but bear in mind they've never stopped 300 tons of water, which is 300 cubic yards. That's a cubic yard of water weighs 1 ton, thereabouts. A cubic yard of cement weighs about the same. A cubic yard of sand weighs 1.2 tons damp. And so they're going to dump this radioactive waste, and they didn't say if they're going to dump it all at once, but here's why they're going to dump it. The company that they probably gave $50 million or $100 million or $200 million to build the tanks that you're going to see in the article, well, from the very, very first 6 months after they built the tanks, the radiation was destroying the metal that they built the tanks out of. So I will explain that on a molecular level. When radiation comes in contact with most metals, it chelates the metal. Chelation is like kind of scales it internally. It's called chelating. So when something chelates, it breaks down on a molecular level. So that the metals they were using in the beginning, the first 6 months to a year, were not able to contain the radioactive waste because, let's say, it would be like putting chlorine bleach in a plastic Dixie cup. The Dixie cup will hold it for a couple of hours or a day, but eventually the chlorine would break down the plastic on a molecular level. Same way the sun does something very similar to chelation. To chelate something means to destroy it on a molecular level. So what's going on there is they have no way to contain this, even though Obama, who has now changed his name to Digger, Digger, Digger 1, because we're bringing Obama to the beach and we're going to let Mr. Obama make some underground sandcastles, because when he decided to take his new name of Digger 1, he also said, can I go dig with Digger 2.0? And I said, sure, you want to make some sandcastles? And Obama said, yeah, I like sandcastles. Will you bury me? And I said, oh, with pleasure, Mr. Obama. I would bury you in any amount of sand, wet or dry, it doesn't matter. We'll leave your little head above the sand and your hand, your little finger there, and you'll be my number one sand digger. That's right, Mr. Obama. So he lied to you about Fukushima. That's the point. Trump lied to you about Fukushima. Trump lied to you about building a wall. They all lie to you about something. I'm the only person. I told you back in 2011 when Fukushima happened, they would never, ever, 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 ever correct the problem. Because they can't. We simply just don't have the technology to do that. We never did. They built all these nuclear power plants on a bigger lie that they would be able to take the nuclear waste, whether it was water or gloves or trucks that they used to haul the nuclear waste or nuclear containment vessels. They built nuclear power plants knowing they did not have the ability to neutralize nuclear waste. They knew they did not have it when they built it, under the premise that one day they would be able to neutralize nuclear waste or use it to where it became a benign product in the environment. Now, if they ever figured out how to neutralize it, they never did that, because now the money is made by storing nuclear waste. And they lie about that too. They know that even the stainless steel containers that are about 2 meters wide and 4 meters high, that cost $1 million for each container to store the nuclear rods and highly radioactive waste. They're $1 million per container by the time they get them into the ground. They know those containers, well, they know for a fact they won't last 200 years, but they say 200 years. But other scientists have said that those containers would chelate and break down within 50 years. Then they said that they would be able to control, have in 50 more years, we would be able to neutralize the radioactive waste. So they lie about everything. And I told you they were going to dump this waste into the ocean back in 2013, 2000, when within days, I was probably one of the first people to tell you they would never, ever, ever correct this problem. They never would. Now, then they told you that it happened because of a tsunami. That was a total crock of shit. That didn't happen because of a tsunami. If you really want to know how it happened, you'll have to go to Jim Stone, Jimstone, his website. He posted what I posted back in 2012 of how the power plant was destroyed. I mean, it did happen from a wave, but it was not from an earthquake. So that's all been proven 1,000 times over and then scrubbed from the internet. So I'm not going to say how it was done, but if you go to Jim Stone's website and you take his word and my word that his website is correct, then you'll understand how it happened. And it was not a man-made catastrophic event. It definitely was not that. So we'll let me get the link for this new Fukushima article for those of you who are interested. Yeah, just cut that out of there like that, and I'll slide it over here. And if you remember, I had 100 plus videos about Fukushima up on my YouTube channel, and I still have those videos, but most of them are only on my Patreon account. Let me get that link in there. Fukushima. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay. Fukushima waste. Like this. Fukushima waste. I'm going to give you the link 3 times. What you do with it is up to you. Then I'm going to talk to you about how Google is stealing my money and maybe other people's money as well. Okay, so Flying Circus is in the house. Welcome to the machine, Flying Circus. Thank you for stopping by. One of the few people still making videos on YouTube. In fact, I'm one of the few people that are still making videos. Now, we'll just mention a quick mention. A lot of these guys in the Philippines that are the blah, 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 like me right now, blah, 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 right now, they don't provide you with any real content. They'll walk over to a sari store. I mean, big fucking deal. Really? Big fucking deal. You walk into a sari store, or you walk down the block and show somebody a uki store. Big fucking deal. Really? And you think that's content? I don't see not one blogger in the Philippines, not even one, walk onto any kind of a construction site or in a restaurant, people, and ask them questions, because basically their blogs are just total bullshit. And I'm saying it to everybody that doesn't get involved with the community at all. You'll see them walk down the block with a camera, like a little girl. They walk down the block with a camera, like they're afraid to talk to the people that they're taking pictures of. When actually the people they're taking pictures of would like to know why they're taking pictures of and want to talk to them, because most Filipinos like to be on YouTube. They don't mind you taking their picture, especially if you tell them, baby, you're on YouTube. They go like this. They give you a thumbs up. They like YouTube. But I don't see a lot of bloggers doing anything real. I see them taking pictures of some bullshit sari store. Look, this is what kind of content is that? So anyway, as far as content is concerned, my Patreon members, they only received maybe 4 videos this week from me of real content, talking about real life in the Philippines, stuff I wouldn't talk about. It wouldn't be illegal to talk about what I talk about on my Patreon videos, but it would be truth that most people wouldn't want to hear. So I just don't talk about those types of things. I did talk about those things, and I ended up taking, I took the videos down and put them only on Patreon, because most people don't want to hear about that crap. They don't want to hear that a video I have showing you, I don't even know where that is. I want to see if that's still up. A video I have showing you, yeah, it's on my Patreon page, where they just cut down a tree. They just cut down a tree 5 inches of the stump in the sidewalk area with no special lighting and no rope around it or no post on top of the tree stump. And if you fall down and trip on it, that's your problem. But no one wants to hear about that. That's just the way it is in the Philippines, but nobody would believe. And then, of course, in my Patreon videos, I talk about, look at this. But if I show it to you now in a video that I walk down the block, that's the way it is really, that's the way it is in the Philippines. So you're walking down the street at night, in the rain, in the dark, and there's a 5-inch tree stump just sticking out of the middle of a sidewalk. And you just think that's normal? That's not normal. It's normal here in the Philippines. But what about if you're riding a motorcycle and you hit that at night? And what if there's a car or a truck behind you and you get flipped over and get run over by the car or the truck? That's just normal? There's not much here in the Philippines that's normal when it comes to sidewalks and safety. Probably nothing when it comes to sidewalks and safety. There are holes big enough for an entire motorcycle to just go into. Not the wheel, but the whole motorcycle and the driver in the North Reclamation Commercial District. I'm not exaggerating. There are 5-foot by 5-foot holes in the sidewalk where entire sections of sidewalk have collapsed into a 6-foot deep trench because of the overweight trucks that go in and out of that parking area. Are they marked? No. Could a truck decide to make a right turn into the parking lot and fall into the hole? Absolutely. Could one fall into the hole on the way out? Absolutely. The truck is not going to fall in, but the truck is not going to be able to back itself out of the hole. You people think that's content, what I showed you. But of course, you have these douchebags walking in and out of sari stores telling you the price of bubble gum, and they get 10,000 views. And because I tell you the truth about Fukushima, the algorithms on my page take a shit. Because I tell you the truth about the ecosystem of the Philippines being destroyed from suntan lotion and fecal matter in the water, my algorithms take a shit, and some douchebag making a video about a sari store, and the price of a piece of chicken gets 10,000 views. No personality, has several channels that he trolls most of the people on YouTube under fake names, has a worthless personality that walks around the Philippines making like he's some kind of success story, and has a dog that he showed in one of his sari store videos that is infested with fleas inside the store next to his feet. And he'll get 12,000 views on a video showing you a dog, his dog, in his sari store infested with fleas. And that's the kind of thing that people like. And he has several dozen, or several accounts that he goes around and trolls my account and everybody else's account with. Oh, and he just thinks that he's the cat's ass. Meanwhile, he's got a dog in his sari store that's infested with fleas, and he thinks that he's posting great content. And he gets 12,000 views on that worthless video. So that's what you want. That's what you got. That's what you stupid people out there. And you people are stupid for going and subscribing to his channel. But he talks nice. He gave out 200 pesos worth of candy on Christmas. And the same year I gave out, 10,000 pesos worth of gifts. And his videos got 15,000 views in 2 hours. And when I made a video with Daisy and myself giving out the toys for Christmas, our videos got 280 views. To this day, his got 12,000, giving out 200. And what did he do? He gave out 1 peso candy. 1 peso candy. And then when some little kid ran around from the back of the line to the front of the line, he ridiculed the kid for trying to get 2 pieces of candy. And that's the kind of shit that you people like on YouTube. So today, I'm going to talk about the truth. The truth is that Fukushima never stopped from day one, just like I told you it was never going to stop, and they couldn't stop it. The second truth is I told you that this piece of shit, President Trump, was never going to build a border wall, and he never did. And now I'm going to tell you what this piece of shit, President Trump, has allowed to happen or is out of his control. But let me just give you the name of the article, all right? Let me tell you what's going on in Los Angeles yesterday morning. Okay, what's going on in Los Angeles yesterday morning is that a case where the Los Angeles County Police arrested illegal immigrants in the year 2011, 2012. Several hundred or several thousand. Well, some piece of shit, globalist controlled Jewish lawyer filed a case against the United States government for detaining illegal immigrants when the status was found out that they were illegal. They detained anywhere from a day to months. And they filed a case against the United States government for illegal detention while they were holding the illegal immigrants in jail, detaining them so that ICE could get a chance to check their paperwork. Well, they actually gave that Jewish lawyer, they actually gave that case against the United States government. They gave them, the illegal immigrants, $14 million. That's what the settlement is, $14 million. And the sheriff that was in charge of that ended up going to jail for a different reason, because it was a trumped up charge, but he ended up going to jail. So I'm going to give you that article. Let me give you that article first. Okay? Let's see. Los Angeles County votes to pay $14 million to former immigrants. Now they're immigrants, but in the article, they are described as illegal immigrants. But the politically correct bullshit title is former immigrant detainees. But in the article, if you scroll down here, it talks about them being illegal immigrants. Somewhere in the article, it mentions them once as illegal immigrants. But either way, here's the headline, and then I'm going to give you the I'll give you the link for that, and then you could go cry in your soup, because that's 14. Oh, wait. Did you know where the $14 million is coming from? Wait till you hear where they're getting the $14 million from. First of all, they're getting the $14 million from the United States taxpayer, number one. And number two, it's coming out of the Los Angeles County Police Department's funding. Yeah, that's where it's coming from. And you stupid bastards in America, you think that things are going to get better? I told you they would not get better. Not under Trump, not under Obama, not ever. That's what I told you. And yet, nope, you don't get it. You just don't get it. It ain't never going to get, it's going to get worse. And it gets worse every day. Now, let's see why we can't cut that out of there. Okay, I'm going to give you the link. I don't know that I'm going to give you the link or not, because, yeah, okay, there's the link. It's a very long link. I couldn't fit the title and the link in at the same time. Graham, good morning. That's right. It's not in the vocabulary of the Philippines lexicon, Graham. You're right about that. Safety is not in the Philippines lexicon when it comes to walking down streets and roads. It's just not in their vocabulary. And you know what? Nobody will ever complain about it. I've actually stopped at some of the more dangerous things where you could, in the city of Tagbilaran, when they were doing new roads, there were 24-inch drops off the sidewalk, and if you fell off the sidewalk, you'd fall onto rebar. The rebars don't have safety caps on them. They don't have, it's not flagged. Doesn't have a ribbon around it. We're talking about 500-600 feet of solid 24-inch drop. And if you did fall off it, you'd fall onto rebar that is sticking 18 inches out of the ground. They don't have safety in their lexicon here. So you got to pay attention. But I actually stopped and asked a few women and men if they thought that was dangerous, and they would say they just didn't say anything. They just don't care. They know to look where you're walking. That's what you got to do. Now, you guys are not going to see that tree stump I mentioned yesterday, but it's not protected. And there's metal pipes sticking out of the sidewalks all over the place that are not there. No one marks it. No one paints it. Holes in the ground big enough for a bicycle tire, motorcycle tire, or your foot to go in and get broken. They don't care. They don't care. It's not like they have no. Now I know that there's a lot of trolls on my channel, and you can all go to hell. Okay, number one. Number two, I even left a few troll comments up, so that to let the troll know that if anybody wants to give it a thumbs up, they can by all means do so. I just leave some of those troll comments up because they're just some worthless piece of shit that's not worth responding to. The trolls. So when I make an accusation that these people are worthless piece of shit trolls, you go to their channel, they have no content, they say something ridiculously stupid, and they know nothing about the Philippines because they don't live here. And yet, they believe that they're accomplishing something. I had a guy yesterday, some douchebag. I could look at the comment. I'm going to read you the biggest douchebag comment that I've gotten. The second biggest douchebag comment that I got this week. Okay. Let's go over here. This guy has to be a complete idiot. So it's a comment that was left. I mean, you have to be a total douchebag to. I mean, I'm in the restaurant. I'm showing you a high-class, high-end Italian restaurant. I know for a fact that the Parma ham that I talked about being imported on the pizza is literally imported from Italy because I watched the guy slice it. It comes in a vacuum-packed wrapper, and it says made in Italy. And not only that, the Italian restaurant is noted for its Italian imported products. Now, the sauce is imported from Italy. The salami, the provolone, the gabagool, and the ham is imported from Italy. The mozzarella comes from Austria. It's not from Italy. Not Australia, Austria. Okay, so here we have a comment from some douchebag, Sexpat Hunter, 69, who got no likes on his comment, even though I left it up. He says, "You're a liar. No authentic pizza with imported ingredients cost 520 pesos. You're a liar." And he thinks it's okay. He says, "You're a liar, sir." And then he goes on to say, "I am an Italian American. I know." So first of all, Sexpat Hunter, let's go to his, this is the kind of shit that we have to put up with as YouTubers that make real blogs from douchebags like Sexpat Hunter, who have no content on his channel, no viewers, no videos, no subscriber base, no like videos, no nothing. And then you could see I left it on my page. Getting into something about making blogs in the Philippines, and I'm going to talk about how much it costs to go walking around and making blogs. And then YouTube on top of that is stealing everybody's damn money, which is just not reasonable. Okay, let's see if we're going to have to go here. Okay, let's go back. I'm waiting. And YouTube, besides the internet sucking here, it costs a lot of money for people to make videos in the Philippines when you consider their time, and time is money. So then they have the other bags that don't believe anybody deserves super chat or PayPal donations because we're e-begging. Well, for those people, you're just, as my father would say, dumber than well shit, because it takes time to go transport yourself from one place to another to make the video. It takes time to make the actual video 2 or 3 times. It takes time to come home, load the videos into the computer. It takes time to wait for the videos to load on YouTube. And then it takes time to tag the videos, title the videos, grab the URL link, put it in the description, write a description about it. So let me just tell you what you worthless pieces of shit think is not worth any money. To go to Alona Beach, the actual transition from one place to another, the videos that I made that day, to go out and have dinner at a restaurant, and to get home was 9 hours. What, that's not worth any money to any of you cheap bastards out there that think that people that receive Super Chat or Patreon, you don't think that's worth any money? Get the fuck off my channel if you don't think that's worth money, because I'm not going to answer your worthless comments if I don't know who you are, like this guy on my page. I'll let your comments stay there. I'll let your comments stay on my channel, but I won't answer them. So just in response to, just to show you what a douchebag this guy is, you're a liar. No authentic pizza with imported ingredients costs 520 pesos. You're a liar, sir. I'm an Italian American, I know. Sexpat Hunter, what you are is a total douchebag. That's what you are. That's what you are. You're a total douchebag. You have no... Here, well, let's go to Sexpat Hunter's tab. Let's open it up, and you're going to see Sexpat Hunter has no videos, no content, no liked videos, no channel information, and Sexpat Hunter 69. And this is what we have, aside from some douchebag coming on and abusing us that we're stupid. We have some douchebag that made an account last month, September 5th, 2020, and a lot of time. So let me just talk to you about how much money was stolen by Google, by PayPal now, this last 90 days. So I have confirmed with Warren Hunt that he sent me $700 in Super Chat that disappeared from his account within hours, and I never got. On the second day, which was the first day Warren sent me a $500 Super Chat, I got that. 2 days later or 1 day later, he sent a $500 Super Chat. I never got that money. And then he sent 2 more $100 Super Chats. I never received that money. On the second day, Nomad Patriot sent $100. I never got that. Then Nomad Patriot sent another $50, and I never got that. And then 3 weeks or 2 weeks later, Shifting Gears sent $10, and I never received that money. So Google, YouTube, corporate, whatever, alphabet fucking city bullshit corporation stole $860 from me. Now, and from Warren, and from Nomad Patriot, and Shifting Gears. Now, the time I spent to try to get that money found by sending 3 different letters, so it wouldn't be spammed. I changed the wording in the letter and never received an answer from Google. That was an hour and a half to 2 hours. The time that Warren and I spent to try to find out where the money went from the bank, that was another few hours. The time Nomad Patriot and I spent with letters back and forth through Skype, that was another few hours of letters and conversations on the phone. And Shifting Gears, probably a half an hour to 45 minutes. Because at that time, I knew I wasn't going to get an answer. What about that time that we spend on YouTube, and you cheap fuckers think that we don't deserve Super Chat or don't think that our Patreon accounts are worth anything? Well, that's because you're stupid. You don't understand business. YouTube is a business. Everybody runs their YouTube channel as a business. Just get it through your head. The reason that Super Chat exists, it's because YouTube and Google gobble the ones who are stealing everybody's 30%, which is reasonable because it's their platform. It's a business. They run a business. We run a business. If you cheap bastards don't like the business that we run, just get off the fucking channel. Don't come back. But leaving comments like this, I don't care about Sex Pat Hunter. He's a punk. He will never, all of you people that talk all this bullshit behind other people's back or comments or stuff like that, where do you ever see this happen in real life? It doesn't. It does not happen in real life. It's because everybody thinks they're a tough guy on YouTube. Some people are. Some people are not. But everybody thinks they are. That's the difference. So this piece of shit, Sex Pat Hunter, now I'm talking about him. I'm talking about him because today another $242 was stolen from me that I can't get an answer from PayPal. Can't get them to answer my requests to change my password. Can't get them to give me options to sign into my account. Can't get them to respond. They don't answer the phone. They don't answer your email, now going on 3 weeks. And they've blocked my PayPal account, which I have not used since June of 2018. But when I went to go into my account is blocked. Now, I just happen to know how much money I had in the account 2 years ago was $272. It was $272 or $242. Okay? So now that's another $242 that these fucking bastards that own these corporations have blocked me out of, stolen, or confiscated because I don't use the account. I just used PayPal as a place to store money from if someone sent me a PayPal donation, I just put it in, let it stay there. I only got that much in the few years before that. I have no idea what's in there today. They blocked me out of my account. But you cheap bastards, you stupid motherfuckers that think that YouTube is not a business, you don't think it's a business, then you know nothing about business. YouTube is a business. People come to my Patreon account because they see something they can't see on YouTube. People come to my Patreon account because they know for 10 years I've never lied to them about Fukushima. I didn't lie to them about Obama's birth certificate. I didn't lie to them about that piece of shit Trump that's only built 300 feet of new border wall since 4 years in office. I told you he never would build a border wall. I told you he's controlled by the great state of Israel. And that's why the people of my Patreon account enjoy my Patreon videos, because they know I'm one of the few people that will tell you this and have backed it up since the day I said it. And now we have Fukushima, as if this is not important. Was it on the front page of Phil Starr? No. Was it on the front page of any newspaper in America? No. Was it an article in the National Enquirer? No. You just had to be Googling shit for Fukushima. It was like, okay, this is what we're going to do, but we're not going to tell anybody we're going to do it. I told you that life as you know it in this flat earth would end abruptly back in 2010, that they were going to do this in the year 2021. And now it's happening. And all you douchebags, I'm still getting people that don't know the difference between a chemtrail and a contrail. I still get comments that they're contrails. Well, you stupid bastards. I'm looking up at the sky. There's 12 different lines. I'm videotaping 12 different lines that have lasted 20 minutes across the sky. I'm describing lines that last 20 minutes. And some stupid bastard comes on and says those are contrails, not chemtrails. Because you people are stone fucking stupid. Not all of you, but most of the people on the internet are stone fucking stupid. So you're arguing with me, a licensed A&P jet mechanic who flies light aircraft, And you're arguing with me the difference between chemtrails and contrails. Who are you? What are your qualifications? If you were an A&P mechanic or a private pilot, you would know the difference. But you're not. You're nothing. And this is the kind of shit that we put up with on YouTube. Even the piece of shit blogs about the dog with the fleas all over it. Even that piece of shit blog, he still has to put up with comments as well. Except that he's getting 12,000 views on some worthless piece of shit video with a flea-bitten dog in his sari store, and I get 200 views for a great video about a pizzeria. And the only people that come to my channel are my personal friends, and I appreciate that. So now I'm going to go back to the comments. So Sex Pat Hunter, there you go. Another comment from you, then I'll block you. But for the meantime, I left your comment up on my page, and no one gave it a thumbs up. No one complimented you on your fucking genius comment. You're just a worthless piece of shit troll, Sex Pat Hunter. Now, let's go back to my, let's go back one more. Okay. Page High, Dr. Page High left a nice comment on my pizza video. All right. And close that out. Okay, so I'm going to read the comments and see if anybody has anything intelligent to say. So that's what happened. $700 from Warren, or $750 from Warren, and $100 from Nomad. No, I think it was $150 from Nomad Patriot, and $700 from Warren, and $10 from Shifting Gears. Now, how much time has it really worked? I've spent, let's say Warren and I spent 3 hours. That's 3 for Warren, 3 for me. Nomad Patriot, more than an hour and 15 minutes. So that's 3 and 3 is 6. But there was also several hours on the banks, talking to the banks. So let's say that was 9 hours. 9 hours that we devoted to it, 9 hours that no one got paid except the lady in the bank, and she can't find the money. Then Nomad Patriot, add another 3 hours, my time, his time, and then his bank's time, add 4 more hours. So that's 13 hours. And Shifting Gears, add another 2 hours. That's 15 hours of our lives total that were wasted looking for money that the biggest fucking corporation in the world, Google Alphabet, stole from my account. They didn't take it. They didn't confiscate it. They didn't earn it. They stole it from my account. They won't answer my emails. They won't respond to any commentaries that I make anywhere in any venue on Google. And there's no way to get in touch with them. The bank can't get in touch with them. The bank says the money was given to a subsidiary of Google Alphabet, and that's all they care about. That money that Warren and Nomad and Shifting Gears was sent by them, and after that, it's not their responsibility where the money went. And they can't revoke the payment. That's the part. That's the theft part, because otherwise they could claim that it was an invalid claim, but it's not. They refuse to revoke or rescind the payment. So they're a bunch of fucking thieves. Now I'm doing this with PayPal. I have every bit of 4 hours into logging into PayPal over the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I can't get in. And they won't send me a letter how to get back in, even though I explained to them in a 6-paragraph letter why I can't get back in, what I've done to get back in, what my account was to get back in, that I changed my account from one thing to another, and I gave them all the information except the numbers themselves, what date that it happened, because I kept a record of that, what what the bank account was at that time. I kept a record of that. And it will let me do everything except sign into my account. Because it says someone is using a credit card to try to break into my account for a lousy $242. If they got in, they got in. If they didn't get in, I don't know. But this is what the fuck, this world is coming to an end. And we're going to talk about $1 trillion from the Federal Reserve is being given to the banks as a bailout. I think it's $5 trillion. And we didn't get any government checks. We got the first check and that was it. So it's $5 trillion went to, and why did they get the money? Because they fucked up with their investments. They did it on purpose, knowing that they couldn't fail. They're too big to fail. That's bullshit. That is total bullshit. They just gave the banks $5 trillion of your tax money because the banks made bad investments. The banks know damn well that no matter what they invest in, they're going to get reimbursed from the government with our tax money. The whole fucking system is corrupt. The entire United States tax corporation rape of America through income tax and payroll taxes and house taxes and land taxes and water taxes and every other fucking tax is totally corrupt. And what about the war that Trump was going to end the wars? That lying piece of shit that he is. He got us into 2 more wars. Mario CMTV, Tom Sock for you, sir, host. Thank you. All right, Warren, sorry that I'm just getting back to your comments, but I'm on a fucking roll here. I have spent countless hours trying to get into that fucking PayPal account, sending letters to Google, and they just don't even respond. Paul Senyan says, good luck to Warren. He did chemo 2 years ago with spine injections and arm patches. The last few weeks are the hardest, but you can do it. And the reason that Paul is giving Warren some confidence in his present-day status is because Warren is off to his first chemo session. Have a good day, and he'll ring when he gets back. So, Warren, I will tell you, was told today's Monday, so I guess this was last Monday night or Tuesday morning. Warren was told that they want him to go back into the hospital and stay in the hospital for 6 more weeks to do chemotherapy. And he wants to do it as an outpatient. So when he said he'll call when he gets back, I guess he got notified sometime early this morning that he's, at least today's session, he may be able to come home. But the hospital is very sure they want him to stay in the hospital for 6 more weeks. And Warren and I talked about this on Skype Live last night. He just doesn't want to stay in the hospital for 6 weeks. It's too restrictive. He can't listen to the music that he enjoys. He can't use a computer in the ward that he's in. He has to go outside the ward, and I think it's 50 Australian cents for a few minutes of Wi-Fi time in the Wi-Fi area. He just doesn't want to go back into the hospital because it's too restrictive. So if I do get any new news on Warren's health, I'll let you guys know. But he's not happy about this. He's not happy. I will tell you that much. Because if he could be an outpatient, he would be okay with this. And they're trying to make him an inpatient, which I don't know if Warren can do it as an outpatient, because I remember for the entire time that Warren was on chemotherapy last time, he would not be able to travel or take care of himself at his house. Just not possible. So we'll find. I'll let you know what happens with that when and if Warren can talk to me later on. All right. Let's see what we got here. Philippines for us. God bless you, sir, for exposing these jerks. I mean, you have no idea what they're doing behind your back. And Michael McFarland says they act like it's their money. Well, they know, Michael, why wouldn't you just piss away all the money you have in your bank account and then burn up your credit cards like the banks did, if you knew that the government's just going to reimburse you? And it's not even just the fucking government anymore. It's not Trump. It's all both sides, left, right, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Democrat, Republican, it's the same bullshit. You know, I have a friend of mine, his name is Jack Thompson. He thinks that Trump should win the election. Well, I guess I do too. But Trump is the same piece of shit that Obama was, with a different color hair. And if Biden wins, then that he will be a different piece of shit with a different color hair running the United States government. And he'll have a backup piece of shit that in case he dies as to run the government. But they're all politicians are fucking garbage. They're all fucking garbage. That's what they are. Trump has surrounded himself with nothing but Zionist-controlled inner circle members. Nothing but. The great state of fucking Israel influences what Donald Trump does. Nothing. There is nothing outside the great state of Israel's influence that affects Donald Trump. Not a fucking thing. The wars, who owns the war manufacturing machines? Who owns the spray paint companies that spray the tanks and the military trucks? Who owns the ink companies that put the ink on the boxes for the hand grenades and the bombs? Who owns the tire companies that give the United States military their tires? Who owns the companies that make the Humvees? It's all owned by huge corporations which are governed by mostly Jewish enterprises. And you fucking think that Trump is going to make a difference in the next term? He hasn't kept a single fucking promise. Not one. Make America great again. He made us the greatest failed country in the history of the entire fucking history of the entire world history. That's what he did. He brought the highest economic structured company in the history of global civilization, and he destroyed it in 8 months. That's going to be his claim to fame. With a lie, he did that. And you people still think that you have the right to say or to think what you think. Look at the article I posted in yesterday's video, and look, Canada is going to pass a bill, if they haven't passed it since yesterday, that all people of Canada will have to take the needle, the jabba-dabba-doo, all, everybody, man, woman, and child. Or you will be placed in concentration camps, what they call internment camps, what they call medical camps, indefinitely until you take the jabba-dabba-doo. I'm not lying to you. Google it. Just it's in that the lady boy that runs the country, Trudeau's. It's on his desk now to sign it. No, I don't think he's a lady. I think somebody said he was gay, but I don't even know that. But Trudeau is going to sign this legislation where if you don't take the jabba dabba do, you don't get a bank account. You immediately get arrested and put in a detainment camp until you take it. And if you owe the government any money and you get put in the detainment camp and you don't pay your bills for your mortgage or anything like that, they just confiscate your bank account, your car, your boat, your furniture. They just confiscate it all if you don't take the jabba dabba do. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. You people are fucked. We're fucked. Everybody's fucked. Everybody is fucked. Because that's just the first step. Remember, Canada is our partner in the North American Trade Agreement. Another fucking corrupt bill that went through back in 2010. Pushed through with Obama and confirmed with Trump. The North American Trade Agreement is between Mexico, Canada, and the United States. So Canada is just an extension of the United States. That bill is going to come to America, where let's say you own $10 million on a loan, right? You don't want to pay it. And your house is mortgaged to the hilt. You can't pay that because they put you out of work for 9 months and it's not going to end anytime soon. It's not going to end anytime soon. Now, I told you back in March this was not going to end before the end of the year or longer. And we're at the end of the year or longer already. Okay? It'll be done in 2 weeks. They fucking lie to you. That's right. Kentucky Fried Tofu says there is no solution to Fukushima. It will keep leaking. And Kentucky Fried Tofu says contrails come from the motors, chemtrails come from the nozzles. Pretty easy to tell the difference. And Kentucky Fried Tofu, very good. That's true. What he said is true. There's a completely different thing. And it's more people, and it's sad, more people don't know how to Google what is a chemtrail. I think more people would be concerned if they knew what was a chemtrail and what's in a chemtrail. Oh, the poison they put in the chemtrails is just sickening. Must be recorded video. Thought this was a live stream. So you're posting on a live stream, but you think it's a recorded video? Really? You don't know the difference. You want people to know the difference between a chemtrail and a live stream, a chemtrail and a contrail, but you don't know the difference between a live stream and an upload. Okay. All right. Lawman 3966. I like that number. A trillion here, a trillion there. Pretty soon you're talking some serious cash. That's true. So I have another thing that I want to talk about. Capital One Bank will not do super chats because of these problems. I have had a card with them for 50 years. Now, that's probably a good thing that they don't do super chats, because if Google is stealing the money. I wonder how many people. I mean, if Google stole $860 from me, and you get a guy, some worthless piece of shit, that's getting $1,000 or $2,000 a day in super chats, and I can tell you the name of a worthless piece of shit like that never gave you the truth. They always gave you half the truth. Always gave you half the truth, unless it went against his Zionist masters. Stephen Molyneux would never outright tell you the truth. He would give you half the truth. And this channel got taken down for that even. And it did not get taken down for anything. He wouldn't touch the subject of Fukushima. He didn't believe that chemtrails existed. One of the smartest people to ever grace the face of YouTube didn't know the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. Fucking lying bastard. I'm glad your channel got taken down. Number two, he would never, ever, ever tell you the truth about the vaccination process. Although he would point you in the direction, he would never say the words. And then the third thing he used to circumvent was whether or not Alex Jones' channel should have been taken down. And he said that he didn't agree with it. When instead, for freedom of speech, I think he should have agreed with it. But I don't like Alex Jones one fucking bit. I have actually had personal experience with him. He's a piece of shit. He's a liar. And he's a New World Order Zionist-controlled puppet. But Stephen was afraid to stick up for Alex Jones, and then a few months later, his channel got taken down. Why? Because he talked about something nobody's allowed to talk about. Crime statistics in America. Who does it? What percentage of the population is responsible for what other percentage of the population? What heinous crimes were considered or constituted by what percentage of the population, and what small percentage of the population occupies the biggest percentage of prison cells, and what the age group was, what the ethnicity of the people were. He crossed that line. He did not. All he did was read government statistics from the United States FBI statistic reports. That's all he did. He didn't influence it in any way. He didn't admonish what was going on. All he did was read the reports about the crime statistics and who commits the most heinous crimes, murders, rapes, and break-ins, strong-arm robbery. All he did was read the statistics, and he got his channel taken down, and he had 1 million subscribers. So they don't want the truth out there. And the piece of shit deserves to get his channel taken down because he didn't stick up for all the channels that got taken down for telling the truth. He thought he was going to circumvent the system. And one day, one video, he talked about the truth one time in 6 years. One time in 6 years. He actually told the truth. And he wasn't even telling the truth. He was just reading the stats, and he got his channel taken down. They don't want the fucking truth on YouTube. They don't want the fucking truth. The truth is they're all a bunch of fucking thieving bastards. So how much money, was my question, did Stephen Molyneux, he used to collect $4,000 or $5,000 in one live stream every Sunday for 2 hours. He'd make $3,000 to $5,000. How much money was stolen from him? How much money was stolen from me that I never noticed? How much money is stolen from a Brit in the Philippines that he may or may not be able to keep track of? They're fucking stealing our money that we work for. And now I'm going to go into what it costs to be a YouTuber, a proper YouTuber. So first of all, you got to have a computer. So I'm trying to buy a new computer. That's another problem. You still can't buy a new computer. And I went to Lazada again today and Googled for the computer I want. And then I said, you know what? Let me check to see if there's any scams running on Lazada, because they may or may not have the computer. But they want you to give them all the money up front, and they won't guarantee delivery door-to-door to your face. So when I got somebody on the phone about a month ago, they will not guarantee a door-to-door delivery where you show proof of who you are. In other words, my identification has to be shown to the driver. No, they won't do that. So theoretically, anybody, including the courier or his brother or sister, could sign for the package, and I would never get the computer. They will not guarantee door-to-door delivery, face-to-face. I am Michael Fazio. Prove you're Michael Fazio. Here's my proof. Thank you very much. Sign this, or here's your computer. They won't do that. the man said, well, if one of your neighbors takes it, you'll just have to trust your neighbors. Yeah, right. Okay, which neighbor? What, the guy walking down the block that says, can I help you? I'm his neighbor, and walks up the block with my computer? So anyway, what does it take to be a YouTuber? First of all, it takes the balls to go do walkarounds and talk to people, which most people don't have. Not only do they not have the balls to go walk around and talk to the locals, but they don't have the brains or the personality to do such. They'll walk around and show you a picture of a piece of fucking worthless fried chicken for 13 pesos. Look, the chicken is 13 pesos. Well, look, there's a Yuki Yuki store. They sell used clothes in there. That's not fucking vlogging. That's not blogging. Well, look, there's a beach. Do they talk to the people on the beach? No. Do the people on the beach talk to them? No. Does anybody give them a high five on the beach? No. You look at my Alona Beach videos, you'll see I talk to everybody. Everybody talks to me. The Filipino people are very friendly. But so what does it cost? Well, I had a cell phone that day. I had a GoPro Hero 5, the Hero 5. I had my cell phones, only $140 cell phone. I have the computer, what's left of this Asus computer, which I can't complain about. It's still good. I had to buy an external drive 2 weeks ago. There's that paper. Here's an external drive to store some stuff on. I'm not going to put my cell number on now, but here's the external drive receipt for from this company up here. From this company, Thinking Tools, which has lied to me straight across the board for the last 7 months as to whether or not they could get me a computer. So that drive was 4,350 pesos for that drive. So that costs money to put that stuff in a drive. It costs money to move around the city if you want to make a video in the city, and I make a lot of those. It costs money to go have your lunch out in Alona Beach or dinner, in my case. It costs money to get there and back. So just to make those videos, I was gone for 9 hours. Now, I wasn't blogging for 9 hours, but I made 9 or 10 or 11 videos, some as long as 36 minutes, which are not on YouTube. They're only on private or to my private friends. And then, so that's 9 hours of my day, or an entire day's work. And what I value my time at is, you people couldn't even begin to compensate me for what I value my time at. Not you people, but it's just not going to happen. I mean, let's just say I valued my time at 1/3 or 125% of what my time is actually worth. Well, let's just say $20, because that's an easy number for you people with the smallest education I've ever seen going on in this world now. So let's just say my time was worth $20 an hour, and I spent 9 hours going to Alona Beach. Well, I also spent 2 hours prepping to go to Alona Beach. So I literally started at 10 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning, and I literally got home at 8 o'clock at night, 8:30 at night. So I spent 9 hours. Let's say I spent 9 hours that day. Then when I got home, I had to load the videos onto the computer, but I was too tired to do it that night. So I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and spent an hour and a half to load the videos, to wait for them to load onto the computer, and to tag one video, title and tag it. So that's just another 2 hours on top of 9. That's 11 hours. Okay. But then I had 9 more videos. Let's just say I had 10 altogether, because I did, but I didn't. One I didn't post. One I won't post. So now I had to spend another 4 hours titling and making descriptions for those videos that some are posted and some are not. That's 14 hours of my time to make 10 videos. And now I have to copy the links, and of course that's part of tagging and titling the video, but then I have to make them public, so I have to go back to them again, and then I have to deal with pieces of shit YouTube so-called troll personalities like Sexpat Hunter 69 leaving worthless fucking comments on my channel. So for those 10 videos right now, to answer the comments, good or bad, I have 16 hours of time total. About what the fuck? My time is not worth anything? And you people expect me to answer every comment? If I don't know who you are, I might give you a thumbs up, only because I know I read that comment and I don't have to waste my time reading it again. Few people, if any, ever leave intelligent comments. And those people are my close friends. And I would go to the pizza video and see the time that Scott Del Fuego took to make a complimentary comment, which is encouraging. Dennis Adams, my friend, stopped by. Dennis is not much for words, but he stopped by to say hello. Paige High, Warren, and several other friends of mine stopped by to say hello or sent me a private message through Patreon. But most of the comments that I'm going to read on that page are completely fucking worthless. I get people telling me that I don't know the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail, when I'm the person that's been studying this for 12 years. I get people that tell me I don't know anything about Fukushima, when I was the person that explained to you how the tsunami occurred. I was one of the first people to ever explain to you that it was impossible for a wave the size that wiped out Fukushima to actually occur from a fault in the Earth's crust. That is total bullshit. It didn't happen like that. It could not have happened like that. Had it been what was originally recorded, a 9.0 or 9.1 on the Richter scale event, hours after the event happened, that was the reading from around the world. Everybody had 9.0 or 9.1. Had it been that, then the break in the Earth's crust would have had to have come to cause an event of that magnitude from several kilometers under the ocean's bottom surface. But that didn't happen like that. It came from several hundred feet, because it was not a natural 9.0 earthquake. Had it been a natural 9.0 earthquake, had it been one, then the tsunami wave that hit Fukushima would have nothing to destroy, because a 9.0 earthquake or tremor would have already destroyed the town of Fukushima. There would not have been anything for the wave to hit had it been a 9.0, even out in the ocean where the epicenter of the event occurred. And that's how fucking stupid you people are to not remember what was said hours after, and within 24 fucking hours, 24 hours, the 9.0 was reduced to a 6.0, and they just transversed the numbers. But you stupid fucking people forgot that it was a 9.0, and you believed that it was a 6.0. Well, if it was a 6.0, several miles offshore wouldn't have created a tsunami that size. If it was a 9.0, probably still would not have created a tsunami that size. But it did. And it was not from an earthquake. But you stupid fucking people on YouTube, you stupid fucking people that don't know how to research anything, and you stupid fucking people that believe half the shit that you read or hear from the government trolls, you stupid fucking people are now being about to be slaughtered worldwide, globally, from the New World Order. Thanks to the Rockefellers, thanks to the great state of Israel, thanks to that piece of shit President Trump that never built a border wall, never prosecuted Clinton, never looked for Obama's birth certificate, never made America great again, never refurbished the wall like he said he was going to refurbish. There were parts of the wall that he built that blew down in a storm not too long ago in January. A couple of kilometers of this wall just blew down. What? You just spent $380 million? $1 million for every, what was it? They built 300, they rebuilt 300 miles of border wall, but they didn't really rebuild it altogether from the ground up. They're spending some ridiculous amount of money, like $10,000 a foot. You couldn't get the fucking wall to stay up during a hurricane or a windstorm. You people are just, all of us are just being fucked royally. That's all. There's nothing more or less to it than that. The United States government is just fucking you royale. $5 trillion they're giving to the banks this week, and no stimulus check until after the election. They're holding it over your head. Whoever you vote for, I bet you don't get it anyway. I bet you still don't get it. Meanwhile, people can't afford to pay their electric bill or buy food, and they don't give you nothing. The government is just fucking you. The United States government is just fucking you every which way. Every which way. Hey, lawman 3966 wants Kamala Harris to win in 2021. Well, Biden would never last 4 years in office. So if he gets elected, you might as well consider her president. Pedro Rojas Cervantes, long-term subscriber. Thank you for stopping by. That set off my tyrant radar military term. Oh, they are fucking us. Steve Montelli. Oh, Steve Montelli. 2020. I'd vote for Steve Montelli. Google is a criminal organization. There's no doubt about that. Look what they did to my channel. I have one of the best channels that anybody ever produced on YouTube. And nothing that I've ever said has been proven to be a lie. And any of those guys out there that tell you that they can prove that what I said is a lie is all bullshit. It's all bullshit. They're little people with little channels, with little minds, with little understanding of how things actually work. I tried to explain to you people that the algorithms, depending on what you say, will make your view counts go up. So you got that douchebag with the dog with fleas that only, oh, hello, how are you? Oh, look, there's children over there. Let's give the children one single piece of candy. And when the child runs around from the back of the line to the front of the line, we'll reprimand that child because he's trying to get 2 pieces of candy for Christmas. That douchebag channel gets 12,000 views for handing out 250 pesos worth of candy when we had the same amount of subscribers at that time, and I got 280 views for handing out 10,000 pesos worth of gifts that year. So because I tell you the truth. And that douchebag, he's like one of these politically correct guys, except he's a lying scumbag in real life. That's my opinion. Now, he's probably watching. And I don't really give a fuck that he's watching, because he's always been a two-faced, backstabbing, lying scumbag. Always. He's always been one of those. He's never been anything but one of those. Scott P. Can't show that comment, but it's true, Scott. Thanks for the comment. Anyway, what we did today was we covered, we covered Fukushima. And what pisses me off about Fukushima, Michael, years ago, okay, let's see this 2006, Crusader 2006. Michael, years ago we talked in the comments about cheese. Dutch cheese turns out to be, I was unsubscribed to your channel, but not by me. Okay? Well, we talked about cheese. Yeah, cheese was a big thing back in the day, yeah? Cheese was on the venue. Every day we had cheese. So, yeah, I'm sure that I believe that what you're saying is true, but I don't remember the conversation. So we talked about Fukushima. Why am I pissed off about Fukushima? Because the reefs, apparently, when there was tourist season, the Japanese and the Korean and the Chinese decided to come to the Philippines for their diving. Now, how do I know this? Well, 5 major construction projects that I know personally, the contractor himself personally, the manager of one of the resorts personally, and I've made many videos of the workers as the only YouTube blogger ever to be allowed on the construction sites of those hotels that were built by a Chinese contractor using Chinese labor that they brought over to the Philippines legally and paid the permits for the men to work here. Those hotels are 100% occupied by Chinese people or Japanese people or Korean people, because those 3 cultures, Japanese, Korean, and Chinese people, will not rent a hotel in a Filipino hotel 99% of the time. Now, when you see locally there are Chinese, Japanese, or Korean people in a hotel near their Chinese hotel, it's because their hotel was filled and the overflow goes to the local hotels, Filipino hotels. But that's how. A Chinese person is not going to get on the internet in China or Japan or Korea, an Asian person, and rent a hotel room from a Filipino hotel. They're going to go to the Chinese advertised hotel and they're going to rent it from them, even though the price of the hotel, I know the owner, the contractor, and the manager of the hotel, the rooms, listen to this very carefully, the cost of the rooms start bottom end room in what is called an annex of the real hotel. The rooms start at 3,500 pesos a day. And that's in the annex. Because their hotel is full, they built an annex to the hotel. Now, the rooms in the hotel, somewhere in in and upwards of 6,000 pesos a day, $120 a day. And then what the overflow goes to the annex, which is another 34 rooms. And then the overflow from the annex goes to the local Filipino hotels. But had it not been for the overflow, the local hotels wouldn't get maybe 1% of Chinese or Korean or Japanese people that are coming to the Philippines. That's just not their culture, is to spend their money in another Asian business. And even though Filipinos are Asian, it's not, they don't consider Filipinos in the same way they consider Japanese, Korean, or Chinese. And there's a reason for that, because the educational system in those three countries is way superior than that of the Filipino. And they look down on the Filipinos because we don't have a good education system here. That's why they look down on the Filipinos. The Filipino people have not progressed to first world status education-wise or business-wise. I mean, that's just normal. And that's just the way the Japanese, the Chinese, and the Koreans look at the Filipino people. Now, me personally, I like the Filipino people because I get along just fine with them. But the Chinese people, here's the way it works. You can say hello to any Filipino on any given day, and 70% of them will want to stop and say hello to you and talk to you. You can say hello to 100 Chinese people, and most of them, at best, you're going to get a wave like this, a wave. That's it. They're going to give you an eyeball. That's it. They're never going to give you anything else. Not Chinese, not especially Korean. They have less wanting. They want to do. They don't hate you or any animosity towards you, but they don't want to have a damn thing to do with Filipinos. Other than, they will get on a boat. They will get on a boat with a banker boat with a Filipino captain and a Filipino mate, and they will be on the boat for the entire 4-hour ride, and they will never say a single word to the Filipino captain or the mate. They won't say hello. They won't say thank you. They won't say good afternoon. They won't try to interact with them at all. I've been on the boat with the Chinese consulate. Now, that goes back a long time, but they had nothing to do with the Filipinos. And you could see that in my videos. So let's go back to the comments. Eventually, the hotel will be built, Robert Schindel. Now, that's enough of that conversation. I don't know why you don't know what's going on if you follow my channel, but I would consider someone that doesn't follow my channel. So you got one answer. Eventually, yes, the hotel is going to be built. All right. I don't see any new comments. So we have 19 people watching. That's the first time I looked at that number. Thank you for watching. If someone else has a question that I can help you with, I will answer. Now I'll take questions. Before, I was just passing up irrelevant questions and comments. So if someone has a question, please, by all means, do so. Otherwise, I'm going to say thank you. And I think I'm going to go bury Mr. Obama somewhere in the sandcastle. Make a sandcastle for Mr. Obama. That's what I think I'm going to do. I have to see. We had some pretty heavy rains here the last couple of days. I think we had a lot of rain, probably 3 to 4 inches of rain over the course of 3 days, which is an abnormal amount of rain. Let me see if there's anything else. I didn't make notes today because I was watching newspaper articles, but what I should do is probably read one of these articles for you. Yeah, let me read. Okay, they're raping the American taxpayer for $14 million. I think I'll just read the 7:33 a.m. Los Angeles County agreed to pay $14 million to thousands of immigrants. Doesn't say illegal immigrants, but at the time they were called illegal immigrants. Los Angeles County agreed to pay $14 million to thousands of immigrants it held for deportation at the request of the Obama administration to settle a lawsuit that challenged the sheriff's authority to help U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detain immigrants. Again, doesn't say illegal immigrants, says immigrants. The five-member board of supervisors voted unanimously to undocumented immigrants arrested on criminal charges and then held after a judge ordered them to be released so that the federal agents could attempt to deport them. So what happened is they were arrested. Let's say they were arrested for jaywalking, and they held them over from their jaywalking charges until ICE could come and interview them to see if they were legal. That's the people that are getting $14 million. The criminals that committed a crime, got arrested, and then got detained for ICE. Now we're paying them $14 million. The class action lawsuit affects an estimated 18,000 plus immigrants. It was, according to the American Civil Liberties Union and immigrant advocacy groups that brought the lawsuit to the federal court. Now, if you go to the American Civil Liberties Union and immigrant advocacy groups, you're going to see three types of people. You're going to see the fucking criminals that run the Vatican under different names are part of the American Civil Liberties Union by funding. They fund this organization. The other fucking criminals are Jewish and liberal lawyers. And the third fucking set of criminals that run this organization are Democrats from across the board. All right. Now, the lawsuit filed in 2012 argued that the sheriff's department overstepped its authority by effectively rearresting immigrants for civil violations of being in the United States illegally after the judges in their criminal case had ordered them to be released. Some were held for months at a time. Well, if they didn't have legal documentation, what the hell were they doing in America in the first place? Let's just stop there. In the Philippines, this would not be an issue. In China, this would not be an issue. In Korea, this certainly would not be an issue. In Iran, this would not be an issue. If you didn't have the proper paperwork, you'd go to jail. Russia, Serbia, not Germany, because they're another fucking liberal, worthless piece of shit country. But in most countries, if you don't have the proper paperwork, you go to jail. So why the fuck should it be any different in America? We knew they don't even have a driver's license. The police that arrested them don't even know if they have criminal records in Mexico. They have to wait for the fingerprints to come back from Mexico. This is so fucked up that the United States government has given these people $14 million. Now, I'm going to go to the bottom of the article and I'll read where the fucking money is coming from. You stupid motherfuckers, you're giving your tax money to the government and they're giving it to the illegal immigrants. Okay, here it is. But Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva said during the Board of Supervisors meeting that he was dismayed that the $14 million would come from his sheriff's office budget and not the general fund, because past sheriffs 8 years ago and administrators were responsible for the conditions that led to the lawsuit. See that? See that? So what a sheriff did 8 years ago, and by the way, that sheriff is in jail now for another crime he committed, but not related to this case. $14 million is taken away, gets better, from the sheriff's department in Los Angeles. And now I'm going to show you how it gets better. I'll get to that in a minute, Crusader. Let me get this link posted. I posted this link before. If you don't read it, that's your problem. If you don't want to read it, that's still your problem. Now, let me go back to the article in question and tell you why it gets better. It gets better because the lawyer, the sheriff, Leroy Lee Baca, he's 78. He's serving 3-year sentence in federal prison for obstructing. He's in jail now because he obstructed the federal government's ability to see whether or not his arresting of the illegal immigrants was legal or not. So he went to jail for that. He's in jail right now. All right. This in this article, there's a number 50 somewhere. Anyway, the statistic, pretty sure that it was 50 murders in the last month and several thousand other crimes from just that county of Los Angeles where the money was taken, the $14 was taken from. So basically there were 50 murders in Los Angeles County, and they took $14 million away from the police that are supposed to go apprehend the bad guys in Los Angeles County. It's the United States laws. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but most of them, the fucking politicians have destroyed America. The fucking politicians have just destroyed America. And Trump is just the biggest, newest piece of shit on the block. All right, so Crusader 2006. A lot of people think / hope. That's pretty good English. Think / hope. You know how to use that slash. They can travel to the Philippines next year. I say it will be 2023 at the earliest. Now that I could only speculate on that, and I have no feeling whatsoever that I could base any truth on whether or not people are coming to the Philippines next year. The only thing I know, first of all, is bullshit. You go to any newspaper, including philstar.com, and although you might be getting the truth, you can't be guaranteed that you're getting the truth, either in the op-ed or the editorial. You don't know what the truth is. So what is true is Mr. Duterte has said that he's going to restrict travel until September 21st of 2021. That's what Mr. Duterte said. Now, I believe him because I watched the speech where he said that. and in English. So typically, he will tell you the truth about what his plan is because he's the president. He can, but he's not like Donald Trump. Donald Trump speaks out of both sides of his mouth. Duterte has a prescience about him that he will usually tell you what's going to happen, what he wants to happen, and that it's going to happen because he wants it to happen. So when he said, Mr. Duterte said September 21st, 2021, that's when he's going to ease up travel restrictions. I believe that he's not going to let people travel indiscriminately in and out of the Philippines until September 21st of 2021. Now, I think there's going to be exceptions, but I remember telling you people back in March, it wouldn't be before the end of the year, any travel would take place. And it's been since March, and there is no travel. Had travel been allowed, I would have traveled to Manila to buy a computer. If I could go to Manila right now, today, to buy the computer I want and take it off the shelf, make them turn it on, set it up with Microsoft Word, show me that the damn thing works, I would pack a bag and go to Manila. That's how long it would take me to make that decision. But I can't because I have to go minimum 14 days of lockdown there and 14 days back on the way back. And that's an additional 2,000 or 3,000 pesos a day. So 30 days times 3 is 90,000 pesos. That's an additional $2,000 on top of what it cost me to go to Manila for airfare. Which is about 12,000 pesos. So that's 90, that's 100,000, that's $2,000 and 2,000 for the computer. Now I'm paying twice the price of the computer because of the cost of the lockdown procedure. Plus, I still have to pay my bills where I live, and I still have to pay for the phone service that I'm not going to be able to use, and for the computer service I'm not going to be able to use. So now I'd have to double the cost of the computer. But that's the way it is here. So there is no, but he did say he wasn't going to let travel happen. And there are no ships. I will tell you this, there are no ships other than food and medicine moving anywhere in the Philippines right now today, or as of last week. And why do I know this? Because when I walk along the beach, I don't see any ships. I don't hear any ships. When I go to Tagbilaran City and I go over the bridges, you don't see any ships coming into the harbor or exiting the harbor. So whatever ships are moving around have medical and food-only supplies. There has not been a single computer, cell phone, gadget, hard drive, or thumb drive, not one single item delivered from Manila to Cebu to Bohol via the company that I tried to buy the computer from since March. Not one, nothing. In fact, if I still had their videos up on the YouTube, which I do not, when I went there on Friday just to pass by to see what was going on, there are no computers on the shelves now, where 2 weeks before that, I think there were 7 computers available in the store. And when I went by Friday, I did not see any computers in the shelves. And I think I saw a 23,000 peso computer on one side of the entrance of the door and a 38,000 peso computer on the other side. So they had 2 models available that I know of because they can't get a computer, which leads me back to me not being able to buy a computer. You can't buy a fucking computer in the Philippines because they're not shipping anything in the Philippines. But Mr. Duterte said he was going to stop all commerce, all shipping. He did that. And when he said he's going to stop flights into the Philippines until September 21st, of 2021, I believe he's going to do that too. And I like it. So we have some comments, and I'm going to say goodbye. Yeah, Mr. Duterte does have big balls. In fact, I remember when Mr. Duterte told Obama to go fuck himself. I mean, now you gotta, first of all, I know everybody knows I despise the fact that Obama became president for so many reasons. And the people that still like Obama, you can go fuck yourselves. All you can go fuck yourself. Obama was the worst fucking thing that ever happened to our country because he was put there to destroy America. That was his fucking job. That's what he did, and he did it well. In that respect, he was a fucking great achiever to fuck the American people. Not as great as Trump is. No. Trump makes Obama look like a fucking amateur hour on the Ed Sullivan show. Trump is fucking you royale. Obama was just fucking you from the back. But Trump is fucking you royale every fucking which way. Every which way Trump is fucking you. Trump is fucking you because you believe that he's going to do something for you. And Trump is fucking you because he said he was going to make America great again and he destroyed the economy. And Trump is fucking you because he said that he's like Superman, that he beat the virus when there was none in his system. It's all a fucking hoax, in my opinion. Trump is a biggest fucking liar to come down the pike, controlled by the great state of Israel and the Zionist Mossad operation that runs the great state of Israel. Trump is fucking you royale. He makes James Bond look like a beginner. Fucking you royale. Johnny Holmes and Trump. Trump makes Johnny Holmes look like little Woody Woodpecker. Trump is fucking you royale. Anything else? Because that's what Trump is doing. He is fucking you royale. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that Trump is fucking you royale. Because in a few short months, when they demand that you get the jabba dabba do, and in a few short years, when you start to see the outcome of the jabba dabba do, you'll know that I was right again. Right, Mr. Obama? That's right, Michael Fazio. You know these things. So it goes under the heading of what, Mr. Obama? Oh, you put it under the heading of Things I Know by Michael Fazio. I always wanted to write a book with that name. Mr. Obama, go over there. And he was flying. I can make Mr. Obama fly. I took Mr. Obama scuba diving with me on my 65th birthday. You could see him under the water. He likes to sit on fire coral. He's a big fucking fan of fire coral. Big. He likes when you put the fire coral right where he sits down on it. He enjoys that. Next, I took him diving in Palawan. I took him diving in Alona Beach. I took many a time. And next set of videos that come out, I'm going to take Mr. Obama and I'm going to give him a little plastic spoon and I'm going to let him dig in the sand and make sand castles with his little spoon. So he'll be Obama the digger. Digger, Obama with the spoon in his hand. Right, Mr. Obama? That's right. I want to be just like Digger 2.0. So you want to be Digger 1? I want to be Digger 1. Digger 1, baby. More fun in the Philippines. Digger 1. Building a sandcastle near you soon, folks. He could play Spock. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for now. I promise to give you an update on Warren if they let him out of the hospital today. Usually, the last time, his first 2 or 3 cancer treatments, he was an outpatient. But after that, the medicine The effect of the chemotherapy the first couple of times is not so bad as after they start to get to the more third, fourth, fifth treatment, because then there's a buildup of the chemotherapy medication itself in the system. It slows you down. It makes you lethargic. He was always able to comprehend what I said, and he always was able to remember it, but it makes you lethargic. So I'll give you an update on Warren's status if he gets back with me today. And do want to thank my wrenches that showed up. I know some of them show up on a regular basis and are hidden. And thank you. We didn't have too many trolls today, so there wasn't much work, but thank you all. And I think you've seen the comments that I've left in the videos for you people out there. So thank my Patreon members for being Patreon members. It does help. In fact, if in fact, and one more thing. So last year in supplies, I bought a $9,200 hard drive and 2 GoPros, a GoPro Hero 5 and a GoPro Hero 7. Why? Because my GoPro Hero 5 took a shit after I bought it, and it wanted to go back to the factory to get repaired, and that took 12 weeks. So I bought a Hero 7. So that was 5, and 4 was 9, and 200 for the hard drive. That's $1,100, and then 2 SD cards, 64 gigs. That was another $100. That's $1,200 in just equipment, and then the internet cost another $200 for the year. So that's $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. Let's just say $1,400. Traveling around to make videos, just add another $100, $1,500. That's what it costed me. Now, you got to remember, my Patreon money has to get tax taken out of it, and my Google money gets tax taken out of it. And to the people out there that don't think that you're going to get taxed, if you have that little symbol at the bottom of your super chat window, you have 30 days. I could, I have it in the email. I'm going to give you when the taxes are going to be due. Let's see. Open that up in a different page. I will tell you that at the latest time that you're going to have to bring your 1921 form, at the latest time that you're going to have to bring that is, see when this was. Okay, this was authenticated. This was authenticated on July 30th. July 30th. So it was authenticated on July 30th. I don't know what you could see. I'm going to go look. This is for the BIR. So I don't want to show you my numbers. So let's see if you could see that. Yeah, you see July 30th? So July, that I paid my stamp fees to the BIR. The number that you see, good until August 2025, that was the final stamp that went on to the what they call the document stamp, and that is for the 1921 form, the BIR 1921 form from the BIR. So if you don't have this piece of paper, and then that means you don't have, I'll show them to you again. I will show them to you. So for the douchebags out there that think they're going to get away with not paying taxes, not going to happen. And I'm happy to pay taxes because I don't mind. Money that I earn, part of paying, at least here in the Philippines, you get something for it. And what you get for it here is a lot more than what you get for it in America. In America, what you got for your fucking taxes was jack shit for the last 5 years. You got nothing for your fucking tax money in America. Not a damn thing. What you got for your tax in America for the last 5 years was because you still have riots going on in Portland, Oregon. Even though we paid for non-lethal sound cannons, they don't use them. You still have riots in Seattle. You still have riots in Chicago. They're still rioting in New York. They're still rioting in every democratic city in America. They're fucking you by not telling you that they're rioting now. But at least here in the Philippines, they do something with their tax money. A pretty safe place to live, all things considered. So if you don't have that piece of paper that I just showed you, then you can't have a box of books like this of tax receipt books. Okay, this is a box of tax receipt books from the hall. Okay, and these are the actual tax forms that you go in that every 90 days. And it's called an official receipt book. Okay, so this, it says on the bottom there, official receipt, right there. So if you don't have these and you're collecting Super Chat, I'm going to tell you, probability is high that if you get caught, that you'll pay, I don't know what the fines are. Let's find out what the fines are. If you don't pay your taxes, and I'll show proof of my going to the office to at least pay the taxes if I owe any. So there is also a caveat with paying taxes, but I won't tell you what it is, because if you don't know what the caveat is, well, then that's because you didn't fill out the paperwork, and you can't fill out the paperwork now. There is no, let's file this paperwork late and see what happens. No. The deadline for the paperwork was July 30th at 2 p.m. And my paperwork was complete on July 30th at 11 a.m., 11:30. And why? Because I went to that office 5 times. And 2 of those times, I got there too late to get into the office. One time, I was told to go to the Capitol building mistakenly. One time, I got in and filled out my paperwork, and they said, come back the next day because the computers were down. And the next day on July 30th, I came back and finished my paperwork. So I had to go there 5 times. I did it. It wasn't easy. I think a few other people I know did it as well. But we'll see what happens with the tax. I mean, there is a caveat that goes along with the tax. I don't know how that's going to work out. But I will tell you that the paperwork for that tax number probably set me back. So if you just talking about what I spent in physical things last year were for, let's say, $1,500 in physical items, cameras, cards, drives, internet, physical $1,500. What about the time it takes to go to the city to get a drive? That's 4 hours of traveling back and forth. By the time you take a shower or a bath in the morning, and let's say you want to go to the city early, you get up at 6 o'clock and you go to the city to only buy the drive and maybe some vegetables, just 2 things that you're going to need, some staples. So let's just say you want to go to the city for the drive only for the drive. From the time you leave your house till you get on a jeepney is roughly an hour to the city, that's 2 hours. Another 15 minutes to get into the store, 15 minutes of waiting, that's 3 hours. Leave the store, 15 minutes out, 3 hours, still 3 hours, and an hour and a half to get back, that's 5 hours. So the best possible case scenario from the time I leave my house, not including the bath, is 5 hours. I've never gotten home in 3 hours, even though it's an hour there and an hour back. That means you have to hit the jeepney dead on going there and nobody on the jeepney on the ride there, and dead on back with nobody coming back. I have never done it in less than 4 hours, 4.5 hours. So that's 5 hours. Every time you go to the city for a camera or to look for a camera or to order a fucking camera, and you people want us to do this for nothing, that's what you deserve to get. For nothing, you deserve nothing. So when you people leave comments on my page, now I gave you the opportunity to ask me a question. But when you got some douchebag like Sex Pat Hunter, 69, leaving comments, do I need to respond to some douchebag like that? No, I'm Italian. I know you're just a fucking liar, is what you are. But we have to still read those comments to make sure nothing egregious is there. Sex Pat Hunter, piece of shit. Thanks for the compliment on my English. Well, if not a lot of people, Crusader 2006, not a lot of people understand proper English punctuation, and should be complimented when there's just a few people on the YouTube, in the YouTube community, that can type anything worth of shit. It's just a few people that even understand what grammar is, what the word grammar means, let alone actually know how to do grammar. Robert, what's the specs you're looking for? I can give you that easy enough. Let's see. I'm getting you those specs right now. They changed the number of the computer, like not daily, but every few weeks. And then when you look up the specs on a specific item, when you open up the page to that item to see if it's available, then a different item is available. Now, in this case, the same item's been available for about 2 weeks now. But when I went to order it 7 days ago, when you go to the counter, the checkout counter, it tells you that the item's not available. So you go through what the item is, you read the specs, you agree to buy it, and then say buy now. And when you get to buy now, it tells you it's not available. So that happened a few times. And then I'm going to say goodbye. So thank you. There's the specs that I'm looking for the Asus i9. Not that, and don't come back, please. I'm going to ask you, please, and I won't respond to your comment. Don't tell me you could get that computer and ship it to me. Unless you want to take my word that I'll pay you for it when it gets here, because you can't ship computers to the Philippines. You can, but not legally. You can, but you have to register the Wi-Fi code with customs. So the computer has to stop in customs. They have to open up the box. You have to be there. You have to give them the original receipt for the computer to show them how much money you paid for the computer. Then you have to pay the tax on the computer at customs. So I don't want to hear about shipping computers to the Philippines. I don't care whether it's legal, whether you have a workaround. I don't care about any of that. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Thank you. That's the model I want. Now, if you want to buy one and ship it to me, that you can do, and I'll send you the money when it gets here. But if you want me to send you money or to agree to talk to you about this on the phone or to talk to you about it in emails or to talk to you about it in the comments section, ain't going to happen. That's the one I want. That's the one I'm going to get. And when I push the fucking button to buy now, eventually, aside from them saying it's not in stock, when you get to the buy now checkout counter, aside from that, they will not guarantee you door-to-door, face-to-face, proof of ID to drop the computer off. I don't like that at all. So I'll say thank you to everybody. I'm Bing Permy. If I have any friends out there that wish for me to call them on Skype, I have a few minutes to do that. If Luca, I know you got my message this morning. If you had time that you wanted to talk to me today, if you're listening, today would be a good day. Today would be a good day because it's raining a little bit. And I'm not going to use even though I have a waterproof GoPro, I'm not bringing Mr. Obama out in the rain. Because I'm going to be filming Mr. Obama building sandcastles with my phone, because another shit thing that happens in the Philippines is for every 1 minute of loading a video on this GoPro, for every 1 minute is 1 hour and 13 minutes to load in high def. From the phone, for a 10-minute video, take about an hour. From the GoPro for a 10-minute video takes 16 hours. 16 hours. By the time you load it into the computer, load it onto YouTube, that's 10 minutes times 16 minutes per minute. I mean, 1 hour and 16 minutes. So that's 160 additional minutes. So that's 13 hours and another hour for it to process. So it takes about 16 hours to load one 10-minute video where I live. So I'm using the phone. That's why I'm not going outside if it's raining. And we just got an alert on the phone that it's going to rain hard. So we're going to say goodbye. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. And have a great day. And I'll give you an update on Warren tomorrow. Bye-bye for now. Fox 2221. Thank you, Fox. Now, Fox, I did meet in Alona Beach last year. He is the person that would confirm that I got ran over by a jet ski, as opposed to that stupid fuck that said I didn't get run over by a jet ski. Hi, Mike. Just getting ready for work. Hope all is well as can be at the moment. Okay. Yes, it is, Fox, but I'm going to get off right now. So thanks for stopping by. Yep, he was there. He was there. And maybe one day we'll get Fox on. I'm not going to do that today, but he was actually there. He actually saw the story you heard is that I berated the Chinese woman. I was pissed off. She ran me over. But I was pissed off because she left the scene of the accident after she ran me over because she panicked. And Fox 222 Fox 1 would confirm that. She ran me over. She knew she hit me with the jet ski and then proceeded almost 300 feet to shore in a panic. She had no idea where I was, if I was alive or dead. And she went in and told the guy, the Filipino guy, she ran somebody over, but he didn't understand what she said because she said it in Chinese. He said it in Filipino. No one knew what the fuck was going on. Fox was about 100 feet ahead of me. He saw the whole thing. And yet I get accused of abusing the woman. She was fucking in a panic mode because she didn't even know where the fuck I was because it was a little windy and she had no idea where she ran me over. Fucking douchebags on YouTube. LaRue Seagrust. All right. Hello, LaRue. Thank you, LaRue. LaRue, I'm going to end the live stream. Okay. All right. So, LaRue, I'm ending the live stream now. I've been on for about 2 hours and 21 minutes. And I had a good day. Thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. And I hope you enjoyed the video because the YouTube is purging anybody that tells the truth with the actual words of the actual truth, which is why I try to circumvent the truth with different words like the jabba dabba doo. It will kill you too. That's a fact, Jack. Amping Permy. Bye-bye, LaRue. Thanks again.